Hi there, this is Chad on the Paper Cuts team. Just recording a quick video about kind of a demo of some potential changes to the way that we render and style heading anchor links. So for some context, there is this accessibility issue about header anchor links not being announced correctly by a screen reader, and that's partially down to the way that we render them. So this snippet here by Brett shows you the way that we do it today in production. So we'll have the header text, the header tag itself, which contains an anchor. The anchor is ARIA hidden and also has no text in it anyway. And then inside of the header, as a sibling of the anchor, we have the heading text. So that anchor is not getting announced for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's ARIA hidden. Second of all, it has no text. So there was some discussion back and forth between me and Brett and Jeremy about the best way to handle this. And we kind of thought, hey, wait a minute, what if we just use the header text as the text for both? What if we nest it like this, where we have the heading, and then the heading contains an anchor, and the anchor contains the heading text itself. So Brett has opened a draft MR about this, where this change actually needs to be done in a gem file. So this MR is quite terse. It's just him linking the gem file to a Git repository, to a different branch where he's made these changes. But this does cause some styling issues. He's got a screenshot that he dropped into the MR here just to show that, like, if we don't do anything, it looks like this, which is obviously not ideal. And that's because we're doing some stuff right now that assumes a lot about the structure of these anchors. So I checked out this branch and made a couple of style changes. I wasn't sure how it would go, but it's actually quite simple. It's much more a matter of deleting a bunch of stuff than fixing anything. I basically deleted all of our styles related to these anchors and then just added in a tiny bit back, and it seems to fix all of it. So let's take a look at it. So this is an issue that I've created in the GDK on that branch with a bunch of headers in it. You can see all the headers. This so far looks exactly the same way that this would look in production today. Where it starts being different is when I hover and focus them. So if I hover over this header, you can see there are a couple differences. First of all, the entire text is a link. Second of all, the icon is still present, but the icon is in line at the end of the text. I created this really long one down here so that you can see how that behaves. The icon is just at the end of the text. It's inline. It's an inline element. So this works for all of these headers. And you can see that it actually scales in size with the header size as well. These down here are details disclosures with the header in the summary. You shouldn't really do that, but people do it, so it's an edge case we want to support. And this used to be hard because there's already a thing here at the left, and we had to do a bunch of stuff to get that icon to display further over to the left. In this case, it doesn't matter because the icon just shows up at the end of the text. It's purely decorative. And it doesn't interrupt anything. So that's what's going on there. These also show on focus visible. So if I tab through, you can see when I focus the link, then that little icon also shows. In this case, I've focused the summary here so I can expand and collapse. And then if I tab again, I've focused the link. So that's how that works. This is with the new issue look on. So this is rendered as though it were a work item. Oh, also I should show you the functionality. The functionality still works as intended. So if I click on this, it's going to scroll me so that header is up at the top. None of that has changed with these changes. Fortunately, we were already scrolling to the anchor itself. So that means that this is just going to kind of naturally work out of the box, which is quite nice. If I look at this in a drawer, because I've got the new issue look turned on, there's a significant benefit to this change over what we've got in production today. Because if I go back over here to this, I opened this issue in a drawer on purpose so that I could show you something. Today in production, we do not show those anchors when an issue is open in a drawer because they would be here in a very awkward position. But with this change, we can show them no prob because they don't do that. They don't render outside of the box of the header parent. So we can do it without any issue. So users can access these and can copy these links. There is a separate problem that it has nothing to do with the current changes. This is a drawer thing. This is a work item drawer thing. We don't have the right scroll offset when you're doing these links inside of a drawer. So if I click on this, nope, that's wrong. We're not taking into account the header drawer, the drawer header height. So that's a separate bug that has nothing to do with the changes on this branch. But it's a nice benefit that putting this icon inline at the end of the heading text means that we don't have to do a bunch of stuff we were doing to like create workarounds before. So let's go over to Safari, because the original actual problem here was that the screen reader was not reading these properly. So if I want to test that out, I should test it out. So this is production today. This is that same issue we were looking at. Let's see about the problem of not reading those links.
Heading anchor page menu, but headings menu. 1. Heading anchor links aren't enough. 2. Problem. 2. Expected result. 2. Question.
So you can see
you are
that
currently in a voiceover menu. This is a list of voiceover menu options. To navigate up and down the list, use the arrow keys. To choose a menu item, press return. To close the menu, press escape.
Okay, so you can see that it does read the headers out loud on production. That's expected, but it's not going to read the links. So let's go over to the links menu.
For links menu, homepage, net, not Jeremy Elder.
So I would hope that the next link would be the link for the problem header, but it's not. The next link is going to be that link to an issue that you see there.
Number 874.
You can see it skipped over it. So let's go over to this tab.
Link.
And see what it does
headers. Here. You are currently in a voiceover. https:// number 8 closing. Links menu. On item. New issue look. Administrator. I'm an H1. I'm an H2. I'm an H2 with really long text that will wrap. I'm an H3. I'm an H4. Headings menu. 2. I'm an H2. 2. I'm an H2 with really long 3. I'm an 8. Links menu. I'm an H1. I'm an H2. You are currently heading level 1. Issue with lots of headers. Voiceover off.
So you can see that VoiceOver was able to read the link text, which is not surprising because it's just a regular old link. If I inspect this, then we'll see that there's an H1 here, and the H1 contains an anchor, and the anchor has text in it, and that's it. The anchor has some styles on hover and focus that make that little thing appear. Let me show you the code for this. It's quite minimal. Inside an H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, or H6, if there's an A with a class anchor, then I'm applying text default. That's really the only thing I'm doing to the anchor link, by the way, is I'm just changing the text from link color to the default text color. And then we've got a little bit of voodoo about the after. So I'm displaying it as an inline block element with a background image of that icon anchor. And I'm inverting it in dark mode. Oh yeah, I should show you the dark mode version. So in dark mode, you can see it's working as well. That's because of this inversion inclusion, GL dark invert keep hue. We were already doing that. So that's what I've got for this stuff. I'm interested in a couple parts of this for feedback. One is this treatment. Is it sufficient and expected and enjoyable to have it be the default text color at all times, but have an underline on hover, and the underline doesn't show on focus, which is normal for links. So I'm wondering about color and text decoration treatment, and also like icon size and placement. But I do think that having it scale with the text size and having it show in line at the end of the text solves a lot of problems we've created for ourselves in the past. So yeah, let me know. Thanks.